ay babatiin ko na rin kayo at magpapasalamat sa inyo sa inyong walang sawang suporta dito sa aming payak na kapihan at tuwing Miyerkules dito po sa headquarters ng PDP. At pakinggan po natin itong dalawang abogado ni Senator Ronald De La Rosa, sapagkat at stake po rito ay hindi lamang si Senator De La Rosa kundi ang survival ng ating mga institusyon, hindi lamang ang institusyon ng Senado, kundi pati na rin po ang ating NBI, ang ating PNP, pati na GSIS ay nadamay na rito, pati institusyon ng Ombudsman na patuloy na binababoy at pinuputa ng kasalukuyang administrasyon upang gamitin na maisulong ang kanilang political agenda. Maraming salamat po.
Umiinit ang usapin. Alam naman po ninyo, pag nandito si Attorney Topacio, mag-iiba yung galaw. But we need to stick sa issue talaga. So sa atin pong segment 1, tutukan natin ang first round of question are on the service of the alleged ICC warrant or CIDG subpoena confusion. Marami pong nagsasabi hindi ito ordinaryong pangyayari at alam po ninyong lahat ito. Kaya diretsahan na po nating itanong ang atin po mga concern at mga ordinaryong Pilipino na talaga naman pong tumututok sa ating pong payak na live podcast ng kapihan sa PDP. Ito'y dapat hindi maliitin sapagkat ito'y ginawa ng aming partido para po sa kaalaman at updates ng atin pong mga kababayan na uhaw sa katotohanan. Bawal po ang fake news dito, kaya tutok lang mga kababayan. So, ang una po nating question ay para po kay Attorney Torion. Attorney Torion, are you ready?
Yes. Ready, able, and willing.
Attorney Torion, nung una, kumalat po ang impormasyon na may ICC warrant of arrest na umano'y isisilbi po kay Senator Bato. Pagkatapos, sinabi namang CIDG subpoena lang pala ito. Ano po ba talaga ang totoong nangyari noong Mayo 11? Attorney?
Well, nung May 11, dahil sa may miscommunication kami doon sa pamilya ni Senator Bato de la Rosa, no, nasa Davao ako, no? But I was always in contact with the staff of Senator Bato de la Rosa. And pag-stop kay Senator Bato kasi, nung dating niya sa Senado, bigla na lang yung mga NBI tried to stop him. Wala namang subpoena na sinabi. At saka kung totoo na subpoena yun, sana si IDG yung nag-implement. Taga-NBI They were really trying to implement the warrant of arrest issued by the ICC. So, yung mga balita na they were just trying to serve a subpoena from the CIDG, I think I can dare say that that is not truthful. Why? Because if they were trying to serve a subpoena from the CIDG, I would like to believe that CIDG has more personnel than NBI. Bakit NBI ang mag-serve ng isang instrumento na galing sa CIDG? And the events in May 11 would really prove us out that even the head of the NBI attempted to enter the Senate premises in the morning of May 11, no? So wala pong katotohanan that they were trying to serve the CIDG subpoena, but the truth was and still is they tried to serve the ICC warrant, and that could be confirmed because in the afternoon of the same day, si Mr. Antonio Trillanes was already in the Senate, and he was even showing a copy of an alleged ICC warrant of arrest. That would prove that what they were trying to serve on May 11, even if there was no Philippine court issued or Philippine court validated and confirmed warrant of arrest, was the ICC warrant and not the CIDG subpoena. Yun po ang aking answer doon.
Yes, Attorney Torion, maraming salamat po. Alam niyo, Attorney Torion, sa harap mismo po ng media, tila ipinakita po ni Antonio, or dati po, former Senator Antonio Trillanes, the fourth, ang umano'y ICC warrant of arrest laban po kay Senator Bato de la Rosa. Subalit, sang-ayon naman po kay Secretary John V. Cremulya, ang nasabing warrant of arrest ay isang inactionable document. Kung tama po ang sinabi ng DILG na ang dokumento ay inactionable, bakit parang may aktwal na operasyon na nagaganap sa Senado noong araw na yon? Attorney,
Well, yan nga ang dapat nila i-answer properly, no? Pero I would still believe that it is an act of God, no? It's an act of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala kasi because of that incident at saka yung clear attempt on their part to serve the warrant of arrest, sa amin po at saka subsequently when this was confirmed by the ICC itself, parang nabunutan ako ng tinik. Why? Because it was really a challenge on our part to prove that there is already a warrant of arrest so that the Supreme Court now would have the necessary evidence, the necessary proof, if you would like to term it at that the arrest warrant is existing and issued by the ICC. Noon kasi, puro lang kami conjecture. Puro lang kami, you can call it as a conjecture. Puro statements. Ang first na nagpalabas niyan in November of 2025 was Ombudsman Rimulya. And we used that in the manifestation that we filed in the Supreme Court then. But then again, I would understand that why the Supreme Court would not act on our TRO yet because there was no proof indeed that there is an ICC warrant. So, nung pinakita na mismo ni Mr. Antonio Trillanes na meron ngang warrant and kinonfirm ng ng ICC in the evening of May 11, then there is no more doubt as to the existence of the warrant of arrest. And the existence of the warrant of arrest and in fact the recognition on the part of the executive department that there is a warrant of arrest should be differentiated from enforcement of warrant of arrest such that if they justify it on the foreign affairs power on the part of the executive department or through his presidential powers on the part of the executive department, once it involves deprivation of liberty within Philippine soil, we will follow Ho versus People, Achacoso versus Salazar, Salazar versus Achacoso rather, that such instances should now pass through our Philippine courts. It has to be the Philippine court warrant of arrest that would bind Senator Bato de la Rosa. Since that was not validated by a Philippine court, since that was not issued by a Philippine court in the light of the fact that we do not have the surrender procedural mechanism which is required under supposedly Article 88 and 89 of the Rome Statute, even that, would require that all state parties should have their own procedural mechanism insofar as the assistance, the necessary assistance insofar as member states are concerned, wala tayong procedural mechanism. So, bawal na bawal po yung pag-attempt and ongoing effort to arrest Senator Bato de la Rosa. So, we interposed our objection as lawyers. Attorney Jimmy Bondo has likewise argued against the implementation of any ICC warrant of arrest if not issued by a Philippine court judge, if not confirmed or validated by a Philippine judge. Thank you.
Attorney Torion, salamat po. Attorney, hindi ba nakakalito sa publiko na may mga taong tila kumikilos po na ipapatupad na ang warrant, samantalang sinasabi naman ng gobyerno na hindi po ito maaaring i-enforce?
Yan nga po, noon pa sinasabi namin, si Senator Bato gusto lamang na magkaroon ng assurance na dito sa Pilipinas siya lilitisin. Or kung mahirap yan, kailangan meron tayong procedural mechanism as to how to implement surrender. At klaruhin sana ito ng gobyerno kung ano ba talaga. All actions seem to point to the fact na yung nangyari noon kay PRRD ay gagawin na naman nila ngayon based on executive discretion, based on the foreign affairs power on the part of the president. Maling-mali nga yun dahil sa if it involves deprivation of liberty nga, kailangan dumaan yan sa ating mga korte because we have our own constitution, we have independence, we are independent as a nation, then we should assert our Philippine sovereignty. And besides, it is even mandated by the ICC Rome Statute. If you read Articles 88 and 89 of the Rome Statute, nakasaad po dun that it is our obligation supposedly when the time when we were still members, hindi na nga tayo miyembro ngayon, to provide for procedural mechanisms as to how to implement surrender. Kasi nga po, ang surrender is not a self-executing provision. Just like any law, if they cite Section 17, kailangan niya ng rules of procedure para po ma-implementayan dito. Kung walang rules of procedure, it is not self-executing.
Thank you, Attorney. At Attorney, kung wala pa palang Interpol Red Notice at wala pang domestic clearance process, bakit nagkaroon po ng impresyon na pwede nang arestuhin si Senator Bato kahit anong oras?
Yan nga po ang problema kasi it would seem, no, based on the actions, bold actions on the part of Director Matibag, it would seem that the stance of the government is really to imitate the action done against FPRRD. So, dahil dito, they are now emboldened to act. Kasi akala nila legal ito. Hindi po legal ito. Kasi nga po, walang Philippine court-issued warrant of arrest. And that is required under Article 3, Section 2 of the 1987 Constitution that no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Kailangan po ng due process. However serious the accusations are against Senator Bato de la Rosa, that should not be, our Bill of Rights should not be sacrificed. What is my basis? All constitutional democracies also follow that. There is customary, this time, there is customary international law that if a foreign warrant of arrest is issued in a court, whether member or non-member, these accused persons by the ICC should be accorded the protection of a competent judicial authority. Hindi lang Article 59, hindi na natin i-cite yung Article 59. We can cite Article 9 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. We can cite Articles 8 and 9 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. We can cite state practice. I already repeated many times the El Masri case na Sim. Yung El Masri na Sim case, he was a Libyan, arrested in Italy, but the Italian courts gave him succor. The Italian courts heard the case, and it was found out that his procedural rights were not respected by the ICC. So therefore, he was freed and he was deported back to Libya. Another example which I keep on repeating, dalawa lang ginagamit ko, but I can cite 21 other cases, at least that I know of. Yung kay Simon Gagbo case, Ivory Coast. There was likewise an ICC warrant. And what did the Ivory Coast do? It underwent a local judicial process. And it was found out that, again, his rights were not respected. And Ivory Coast insisted on its sovereignty. And in both cases, I can even cite the son of Gaddafi. That also happened to him. In all of such cases, what did the ICC react when the national courts asserted their own sovereignty? No. It simply asked for an explanation why they did that. And when Italy gave them such an explanation, Wala nang nagawa yung ICC kasi nga sa Article 88 ng Rome Statute, kinakailangan na meron tayong procedure. Duty yan supposedly ng member state. How much more tayo? Hindi na nga tayo miyembro. Kung hindi na tayo miyembro ng ICC, hindi na yun applicable yung Part 9 ng Rome Statute on Cooperation Mechanism. Limited na po, and that came out in Pangilinan versus Cayetano interpellation of Senator Leonen. Anong nangyari doon? Ang nangyari doon, wala nga tayong procedural rules in so far as surrender is concerned. Yun po.
Thank you very much, Attorney Trayon. Ang linaw, nakakapanlumo kasi tayong lahat po kasama dito na parang nililito tayo, naloloko rin tayo. Pero dahil meron tayong mga kasangga na talaga nagpapaliwanag at naglalatag ng tamang usapin at pagpapaliwanag, kaya naging matibay po ang paninindigan ng mga Pilipinong magpahanggang ngayon ay hindi natitibag sa paninindigan at pakikibaka para sa katotohanan. At ngayon naman po, Attorney Torian, maraming salamat. Mamaya babalikan namin kayo. Ang ating susunod na katanungan ay ibibigay naman po natin para sa atin pong kasamang Attorney Jimmy Bondoc. Good morning, Attorney Jimmy.
Morning po. Magandang umaga po.
Yes. Attorney Jimmy, sa pananaw mo po bilang isa sa mga abogado po, may danger ba na nalilito ang publiko sa pagkakaiba ng isang dokumentong umiiral sa international level at isang warrant na maaari nang ipatupad dito po sa Pilipinas? Attorney?
Litong-lito na po. Litong-lito na po ang publiko. Hindi lang po dahil sa complexity naman talaga ng legal issue, kundi dahil sa mga magkakaiba at magkakakontrang pananaw ng gobyerno itself, no? Meron po akong show sa ibang channel na mismo po si GM Torre na hindi naman po sa panig natin ay inamin na there is a breakdown in the unity of command, no? Ibig sabihin iba-iba na po yung pati on the opinion level, iba-iba na po yung pronouncements ng gobyerno. Tatlo po kasi yung legal na landas na pinopropose ng kabila, ano. Una, yung pag-aresto kay Bato ay binabatay ng iba sa RA 9851, a domestic law. Yan po ang una. Pangalawa, ini-invoke nila yung Rome Statute. Okay? At pangatlo, they are invoking general public international law. Tatlo po yun nila. Wala pong sinunod ang gobyerno. Kung doon tayo sa RA 9851, pag-uusapan po natin kung pwede nating isurrender sa ICC without passing through the judicial authority dito. Kung pag-uusapan natin ng Rome Statute, which by the way para sa amin ay wala ng jurisdiction, hindi nila sinunod ang Article 59 at hindi nila sinunod ang regulations of the court ng ICC, particularly Regulation 31 number 3, which shows how to effectively serve a warrant, no, na personal notice. At kung general na international law or customary law, hindi rin nila sinunod yung jurisprudence na sinite ng aking partner na si Attorney Boben. So kahit saan pong larangan nila dalhin ang kanilang argumento, hanggang ngayon nananatili po ang aming paninindigan that there is no lawful basis for the arrest of General Bato.
Thank you, Attorney Jimmy. Attorney Jimmy, may mga nagsasabi na itong mga pangyayaring ito, nung nakaraang May 11, parang trial by publicity ang nangyari. Lalo na po nung maipakita umano ang dokumento sa media, bago pa man magkaroon ng malinaw na government position. Nakikita niyo rin po ba yung anggulong to?
Very clearly po, nasa kapangyarihan po kasi ng PTC, ng pretrial chamber. Yung una, yung to reclassify their warrant from public to from secret to public, at nasa kanila rin yung to authorize reference thereto. Huwag na natin pag-usapan yung pangalawa. Nung pinakita po ni Trillanes yung warrant na yan, it was still secret, no? Therefore wala siyang any authority to refer to this document, to show it publicly, to brandish it, and much less to enforce it. Wala po, kahitan po. Hindi na natin pinag-uusapan kung siya ay isang delegate ng ICC, was he authorized. Hindi pa yun eh. The mere showing of the warrant by anybody had not been authorized under any applicable laws or procedures. No? So kaya po tayo nagkakalito-lito. And then, assuming arguendo that the warrant had been reclassified at pwede nang iserve o at pwede nang ipakita rather, hindi pa rin siya pwedeng iserve dahil napakahaba po. Aantukin po kayo kung sasabihin ko sa inyo yung buong procedure na dadaanan ng ICC warrant bago pa man lang siya iserve sa amin at kay General Bato.
Thank you, Attorney. Attorney Bondoc, hindi ba delikado kung ang isang pribadong individual ay tila mas nauunang makaalam o makahawak ng sensitibong dokumento kaysa mismong mga opisyal na dapat magpatupad po nito?
Very dangerous precedent setting po yan kung sakasakaling mangyari yan. As I said in different interviews, I always invite the public to imagine the scenario that they are proposing. Imagine niyo po, kahit po sa hinaharap na makagawa na tayo ng sistema na ang warrant ng ICC or any foreign tribunal or court ay pwede nang panghawakan ng kahit sinong individual at sasabihin nila hindi na po kailangan yan dumaan sa piskalya dito, hindi na kailangan dumaan yan sa korte dito dahil foreign ito. And therefore, since they had been authorized by the President, the Office of the President, or any of the departments under the executive branch, dahil na-authorize na sila, pwede nang i-enforce yan. Can you imagine the absurdity? Na kung local charge at local warrant, rigorous yung dadaan siya sa korte at ang dami pong tumbling ika nga ang kailangan gawin. Pero pag foreign warrant, pwede na po at the pleasure of the President ay ipahuli ang kahit sino. Can you imagine the political turmoil? That will be worse than martial law.
Oo nga. Takot. Attorney Bondoc, kung totoong kailangan pa ng Interpol Red Notice at compliance sa local processes bago magkaroon ng enforcement, attorney, may nilabag bang protocol ang sino mang kumilos na parang may immediate arrest operation ng mangyayari?
At the very least, that was an attempt at arbitrary detention, attempt at an unlawful arrest, 'di ba? At I can imagine many other laws broken by the said individual, no? So, pero ang mas nilalabag po talaga nila ay hindi lamang batas kundi yung kasarinlan po ng Pilipinas. And that is the worst. I know that sounds like a motherhood statement, pero yun po ang pinakamasama na nilalabag nila, yung ating karapatan to enforce our own laws and to prevent colonial powers from imposing upon us laws that we do not recognize and giving foreign tribunals power to dictate upon our justice system. What they're actually trying to do, no, is they're trying to tell the Supreme Court, no, dito po sa comment po ng OSG, what they're trying to say to the Supreme Court is, mga boss, desisyonan nyo naman tong comment namin na hindi na kayo kailangan. Yun po ang hinihingi nila eh. No? They are asking the Supreme Court to decide against themselves and the country. And I really think this is dangerous. And I hope that all the authorities recognize this.
Lakas ng loob mo na. Ang lakas ng loob na gawin na yun, ha? Talaga nakaka-shock.
Hindi na po kami nasasyak. Para lang po for the record.
Hindi, kasi
They've tried everything. Eh.
attorney, parang ang thinking namin dito bilang isang simpleng mamamayang Pilipino na lumalaban ng patas araw-araw, parang saan sila kumukuha ng lakas ng loob to manipulate at saka konsintihin ang iba't ibang mga autoridad to
Malinaw po.
abuse.
Malinaw po kung saan sila kumukuha ng lakas ng loob, and it is out of fear. It is out of fear of the scenario 2 years from now.
Yeah. Malinaw. Attorney, isa na lang po. Balikan kayo mamaya ni Attorney Yvette. Ano po ang masasabi ninyo? Ito, kailangan pong marinig ng lahat ng mga kababayan natin dahil yun po yung isang katanungan nila noong pa eh. That was last week. Ngayon natin tatanungin sa inyo, baka masagot nyo bilang kinatawan at saka tagapamagitan at kayo po yung abogado ni Senator De La Rosa. Sa nangyari po last week, ano po ang masasabi ninyo sa naging desisyon ni former Senator Soto sa pakikipag-ugnayan niya, di umano, sa NBI, sa OSA, Office of the Sergeant of Arms, sa pagpapatupad ng sinasabing warrant of arrest?
Pagdating po dyan, the reason why I want to limit my comments is obviously there's a very huge political struggle now within the Senate. At gusto kong bigyan ng konting halaga yung pagpapaliwanag ni former SP Soto na dahil wala naman siyang kaalam-alam na dadating si Bato, parang ang sinabi niya lang ay, sige, coordinate nyo lang sa OSA. Bigyan ko po natin ng kahit mga 50% na tiwala muna, no? But on the other hand, the other 50 should be reserved for our vigilance, no? That vigilance is to prevent further cooperation by any of the senators with law enforcers who have no right to arrest General Bato. And that said, also, we are very happy for now that the Senate presidency has changed because we stand with Alan Cayetano. I think that has to be said. We cannot leave him out to hang to dry, no? Kasi si SP Cayetano is not being partisan. I want that clear. I think he is preserving the integrity and the sanctity of the Senate. I don't think it's for Bato. I don't think they've seen eye to eye on all stages of our recent political history, no? Pero ang para sa kanya talaga, bahay namin to, we are one of the 3 branches, at wala kayong pinapakita pang lawful basis para arestuhin ito. So ba't kami magko-coordinate sa inyo? Kayo ang mag-coordinate sa amin pag meron kayong i-enforce out of respect. At kami, susuriin namin kung pwede nang arestuhin si Bato. Sinabi rin po ni Senator Cayetano, pasensya na humaba ng konti, ano? Sinabi ni Senator Cayetano, iba naman yan kung local warrant yan. Kung local warrant yan, we would have treated it like they did with Enrile, De Lima, Trillanes. Pero hindi nga local yung warrant. So I think we should support Alan Cayetano in unison kung ano man ang kulay ninyo because he's preserving the integrity of the Senate.
Thank you, Attorney. Yung reservation that hindi niya pwedeng sabihin lahat sa atin, we need to respect kasi it's for us, Filipino, na ma-intact din naman po yung mga dapat hindi mo na ibuga. And now, ibalik ko naman po yung tanong ulit kay Attorney Terion. Medyo nabitin po ang ating mga kababayan. May mga pumapasok din pong mga comment at mga question. No, Attorney Terion, kung supina lang talaga yon, bakit hindi agad malinaw ang paliwanag ng gobyerno mula sa simula?
Yes, kung yun pala ang purpose, di sinabi kaagad nila. Pero yun nga, I doubt kung sabina nga ba yun. Kasi babalik na naman ako doon sa aking answer. Kung sabina yun ang CIDG, why would NBI serve it in the morning of May 11 of 2026? No? So, palusot na lang yun sa tingin ko. No? So, that is, in my humble view, parang naghahanap na lang siguro ng paraan para at least ma-justify. Kung sa amin yan sa mga Bisaya, palusot na lang to. No? That's my opinion on the matter. Kasi nakakatawa na merong, merong sabina ang CIDG. Ngayon ba ang NBI adjunct office na ng CIDG? The way I see it, iba sila na agency eh. And CIDG has its own personnel and NBI also has its own personnel, and it would be the height of hypocrisy, no, to the point of being untruthful na siguro na i-claim na CIDG sabina ngayon. And by the way, yung CIDG sabina ni-recall nila ha. And actually we can use that also. We can use that by arguing likewise that the Philippines now is exercising jurisdiction over the AJK cases. So that can be one of the reasons that can be used by our lawyers if we will hire na a lawyer in the ICC to oust the jurisdiction of the ICC or to question the processes being made by the by Philippine authorities. Kasi nga in the morning of May 11 of 2026, there was yet no confirmation on the part of the ICC. There was yet no unsealing of the ICC warrant of arrest. And procedurally, even if hindi na tayo miyembro, hindi na tayo bound under Part 9 of the Rome Statute. Pero granting for the sake of argument, hindi nila na-follow at that time yung procedural mechanisms before one can implement a warrant of arrest by the ICC. So to claim na subpoena yun, to my mind, and with utmost due respect, is baloney.
Thank you, Attorney. Attorney, alam niyo bago magdeklara po na ang ICC na naka-unseal na po yung warrant of arrest ni Senator Bato de la Rosa, nagkaroon po ba ng pagkakataon na naniniwala rin kayo na may arrest operation talaga?
Yung May 11 incident, klaro talaga yun kasi may mga binugbog pa nga yung tao ng ng Senado eh. Sila ang pumasok doon, hindi nakipag-coordinate, tapos binugbog pa nila yung Senate employee. And at that time, the warrant of arrest by the ICC was not yet unsealed and they did not follow the strict procedure under Articles 89, 91, 59 of the Rome Statute. That is granting for the sake of argument that we are still a member of the Rome Statute. Hindi na nga tayo miyembro eh. Kaya nga ang aming sinasabi dito, mali talaga yung ginawa ng ating mga taga-NBI.
Ma'am Penny, if I may,
Yes, please do.
bago pa nung bugbugan na totoo po na sinight ni Atty. Torion, bakit naman po tayo magdududa pa na may attempt to arrest? Pagbaba nga po ng kotse ni Bato, sinubukan nga siyang i-arrest, hinabol siya sa hagdan. So I do not know why a narrative like that would prosper na hindi nila ina-attempt mag-arrest. Sinubukan na nga at in-announce pa nila, no? Pagbaba pa lang ng kotse. Kahit hindi na natin pag-usapan yung bugbugan, which is again a clear indication of their intent to arrest. Sinabi nila na arestuhin nila si Bato. Wala na pong bawian.
Tapos ito ma'am i-review natin yung kasi hindi na tayo parte ng Rome Statute. At klaro yan sa Pangilinan versus Cayetano na wala pang surrender mechanism tayo dito, no? And even in the the crafting of Republic Act 9851 noong February 20, 2009, kunin nyo yung transcript of stenographic notes, yung minutes ng deliberations between Senator Ligarda and Senator Gordon. Ang sabi ni Senator Gordon noon, in order to implement the surrender mechanism under Section 17, no? Section 17 of Republic Act 9851 is not enough. There has to be a statute that would precisely define the procedural mechanism as to how to effectuate surrender. So even the intention of the senators when they crafted the 9851, no, would really prove na in the deliberations it really came out, no? Deliberation mahaba yun eh. During the time when Senator Ligarda was throwing questions at Senator Gordon, lumabas po dun na it's not enough. RA 9851 is not enough. And even if we base Article 59, hindi na tayo miyembro niyan. Kalukuhan niyang sinasabi, kagaguhan niyang sinasabi na you could not anymore invoke Article 59. Ano ba yan, cherry picking? You are implementing the warrant of arrest under Article 58. We do not recognize that anymore because we believe that ICC has no more jurisdiction. But granting for the sake of argument that it has jurisdiction, we can also invoke Article 59. Anong nakasabi dyan sa paragraph 1? Oh? A state party which has received a request for provisional arrest or for arrest and surrender shall immediately take steps to arrest the person in question in accordance with its laws. In accordance with whose laws? Philippines. Anong sa Philippines ito? In accordance with its laws and the provisions of Part 9. It has to be reconciled. Ang ibig sabihin niya, anong nakasaad sa atin? Article 3, Section 2, and the Bill of Rights. Only a Filipino judge can issue a warrant of arrest. Since you do not have a surrender procedural mechanism, then we argue, wala yan. Kaya nga, pwede ba? Sabi namin, i-apply na lang natin by analogy yung extradition rules. Kasi meron tayong extradition rules. Dalawa lang yan eh. Surrender or extradition. Yung surrender, walang procedural mechanism. Nandun yan sa minutes of the interpellation of Senator Ligarda with Senator Gordon when RA 9851. So, since wala tayong law as to how to implement surrender, sabi namin, why don't we apply by analogy yung extradition? Ayaw din ng Solicitor General. Huwag mo i-implement yan dito. If you want to implement that, then you follow our procedure. Because our procedure is stated in the rules of criminal procedure. Huwag nyo kaming sisihin. Bakit mataas yan na procedure? Hindi kayo nagpasa ng batas to implement that as lawyers, ako at saka si Attorney Jimmy Bondoc, we have to